Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Today we have a class on basically it's helpful hints in hot weather, okay, and what to watch out for, and all that good stuff. So really, it's just kind of some guidelines to go over. And please, if you have any additional comments, things that you think might help, please let us know all together. Like either on WhatsApp or I can share it any way you want with the entire group if you send it to me. But yesterday was the first day of summer. I know it's a couple of days after. Today was much, much cooler. And it's supposed to kind of fluctuate, so being cool and then getting hot. But yesterday was not unbearable, but it was very, very hot. And I don't even think my house completely cooled down, even with the air conditioning on, until, like the whole house, until close to midnight. It was really late and it was difficult to sleep. So, because this hot weather is coming up, let's go over some helpful hints. So this is from the National Center for Environmental Health. And since this is affecting our environment with climate change, climatological change, and the change of the seasons, which we went over yesterday, just what summer is, and apparently it's just hot. But again, the weather's changed a lot today. It's much more bearable and easy to work with. So this is just how to kind of keep cool in hot weather and helpful hints towards that. So high temperatures kill hundreds of people every year. And yesterday I was really worried about that, for the longest time when I think of our houseless population in America and even just here in the Bay Area. But I remember growing up in Salt Lake and we used to have some massive freezes, really, really cold nights. And I always worried about some of the people out there who don't have a home. They do have a house, they do have a home. America is their home, but they don't have a house to live in. But yesterday I was really worried about people just being dehydrated. I kind of feel bad. I mean to sometimes maybe put some water in the back of my car or something like that just to pass it out to people instead of giving money, to pass out some water to make sure people stay hydrated. Because it does really worry me. But hundreds of people die from hot temperatures every year. Heat-related deaths and illnesses are preventable, yet more than 700 people die from extreme heat every year in the United States. Take measures to stay cool, remain hydrated, and keep informed. Getting too hot can make you sick. You can become ill from the heat if your body can't compensate for it and properly cool you off. The main things affecting your body's ability to cool itself during extremely hot weather are, number one, high humidity. So when the humidity is high, sweat won't evaporate quickly. This keeps your body from releasing heat as fast as it may need to. And there are also personal factors that you have to look at. So there's age, obesity, fever, dehydration, heart disease, mental illness, poor circulation, sunburn, and prescription drug and alcohol use can all play a role in whether a person can cool off enough in very hot weather. So those who are at highest risk include people 65 and older, children younger than 2, and people with chronic disease or mental illness. Closely monitor people who depend on you for their care and ask these questions. Are they drinking enough water? And these are also questions just to ask yourself. I have to as well. I always have my water with me, but am I drinking it? Sometimes I just have it in my backpack and I realize I haven't even touched this yet today. Do they have access to air conditioning? Do you have access to air conditioning? Do they need help keeping cool? People at greatest risk for heat-related illnesses can take the following protective actions to prevent illness or possibly death. Stay in air-conditioned buildings or vehicles as much as you can. Air conditioning is the number one way to protect yourself against heat-related illnesses and death. If your home is not air-conditioned, reduce your risk for heat-related illnesses by spending time in public facilities that are air-conditioned and using air conditioning in vehicles. There's always your public library. You can sit there. Pardon me, I tried to pause it. And I didn't make it. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm going to put this over here on the pause sign, so if I have another sneezy fit, you won't have to witness it. I apologize. But again, your library is always open. It's a place to go read. It's a place you can use the internet. You can get work done. But it's open, and it's good open for good hours. So, and they don't mind, honestly, the Hercules library that we go to, a lot of times, they have those chairs just facing out on a beautiful view, and people fall asleep in them all the time just to pass time. So, make sure you're taking advantage of that. If you know somebody who doesn't have air conditioning, and you worry about them, always let them know, hey, I can give you a ride to the library, come pick you up when it cools down a bit. So contact your local health department or locate an air-conditioned shelter in your area. There are shelters as well, which I forgot about, so maybe I don't need to worry as much about the houseless folks out there. Hopefully they have a very good connection with certain places, when the weather is inclement. Sorry. Do not rely on a fan as your main cooling device during an extreme heat event. Drink more water than usual and don't wait until you're thirsty to drink. It's my problem. Check on a friend or neighbor and have someone do the same for you. Don't use the stove or oven to cook. It will make you and your house hotter. It's true. Or if you have, instead of using your oven, if you have like a toaster or something, because I did have to eat yesterday and I didn't feel like anything, but we didn't have any greens for salad. And I was kind of bummed by that because I do have cottage cheese, and I've had a nice salad with cottage cheese and just a little bit of dressing and a squeeze of lemon would be nice. Salt and pepper, of course. But we didn't have anything, and I had some corn dogs and I made those. But again, mine was much smaller. If you use a whole oven for just 2 corn dogs, that's A, huge waste of energy, and also B, it heats your house up really bad. So even young and healthy people can get sick from the heat if they participate in strenuous physical activities during hot weather. So when it's hot like it was yesterday, limit your outdoor activity, especially midday when the sun is hottest, so it's right above your head. Wear and reapply sunscreen as indicated on the package. Pace your activity. Start activities slow and pick up the pace gradually. Drink more water than usual and don't wait until you're thirsty to drink more. Muscle cramping may be an early sign of heat-related illness or dehydration. Wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing. Again, lighter clothing refracts sun rays, whereas like darker colors like black actually absorbs it. So if you play a sport that practices during hot weather, protect yourself and look out for your teammates. So if you're wearing a cloth-based covering and feel yourself overheating or having trouble breathing, put at least 6 feet of distance between yourself and others and remove the face covering. Schedule workouts and practices earlier or later in the day when the temperature is cooler. Monitor a teammate's condition and have someone do the same for you, kind of the buddy system sort of thing. Seek medical care right away if you or a teammate has symptoms. And this can just be anybody walking around, or say you're at the gym, and even if it's air conditioned, you got to be careful. And water is the best thing, but also if you're working out a lot, Gatorade is a good thing in that it replaces electrolytes a lot faster than water. So Gatorade is good that way, but it kind of makes it up. Maybe some Gatorade here, water here. Now, everyone should take these steps, not just people in sports, to prevent heat-related illnesses, injuries, and death during hot weather. So stay in an air-conditioned indoor location as much as you can. Drink plenty of fluids even if you don't feel thirsty. Schedule outdoor activities carefully. So again, wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing and sunscreen. And pace yourself. Don't push yourself. Pace yourself. Take your time. You know, unless you're running a marathon, which I don't think anybody should be in hot weather, pace yourself. You know, we don't have to get everything done in X amount of time. Let's do it in a safe amount of time. So take cool showers or baths to cool down. That's a really good idea. Or like one person was telling me, they have one of those wading pools in their backyard. But one thing to be careful with that, you may cool down, but if you're out in the sun, you're going to be exposed to the sun. So make sure that you're still having on some sort of shade or something over it, or at least you're wearing sunscreen if parts of your body are exposed, because the sun is still going to attack your skin, and that itself will dehydrate you as well. But being in cool water is a very good way to cool down. Check on a friend or neighbor and have someone do the same for you. Gone over this. Never leave children or pets in cars. I can already tell you that's extremely dangerous. Cars heat up incredibly fast. Just real quick, when I was out yesterday, I stopped my van somewhere. I dropped it, and I went inside. And just as I was inside, I wasn't even inside for very long. Maybe 45 minutes total time. And I came back out, and honestly, I had to turn the van on, blast the air conditioning, until the steering wheel cooled down enough that I could actually grab onto the steering wheel and not have it burn my hands. Like, it was really that hot. It wasn't safe to really drive. So if you think about just how hot the steering wheel was from just 45 minutes, what if a dog was in there? What if a child was in there, or a baby was in there? That's incredibly hot, and it heats up really, really fast with all the windows up. And it's not just don't leave them in cars with the windows down or up. Just don't leave them in the car whatsoever. And then, of course, check the local news for health and safety updates. So, and we all have things like, watches that have, but mine has things that, tell the date and things like that, but it also will tell me if there's a weather alert and things like that. Like, hey, it's going to be really hot today. My phone also pops up saying today's a severe weather alert. It's going to be very hot outside, so please protect yourself. So that has been class for today. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and suggestions for classes, please. But other than that, yeah, just make sure you stay safe out there, especially when it's hot. Okay, everybody? All right. Bye for now.